United States President Barack Obama has invited more than 120 young leaders from sub-Saharan Africa to meet in Washington this week. They are here as part of the forum that observes the 17 African countries marking 50 years of independence this year. Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy, Judith McHale, visited VOA recently to discuss the forum.
We look at Africa and the role of young leaders in Africa leading its transformation and transition as it's going. I mean, sure, as you well know, Africa is going through an incredibly exciting period of time, very sort of dynamic economies growing. And we thought it would be a great opportunity, the President thought it would be a great opportunity to meet with some of the young leadership from across Africa, to bring them to Washington, to have a conversation, a dialogue, and a discussion with them about their views of the challenges that their countries face, the opportunities that they see, and to find out how we can work together to really take advantage of all those opportunities which lie ahead.
Can you give us an insight into how exactly these young leaders were chosen and how representative are they of the communities that they will be in turn serving?
Well, we reached out to our missions across sub-Saharan Africa, and we asked them to nominate young leaders from the countries in which they served. And it's a wide spectrum of organizations that they represent, from academic institutions, NGOs, business leaders. And so the post nominated, and then from that we chose a group of about 115 young leaders who will be coming from around 40 countries, again, to represent a wide spectrum of opinions and of organizations.
When President Obama was in Ghana last July, he made note of the fact that ultimately Africa is for Africans, and Correct. They will automatically, of course, lead the continent. Is this in line with the message that President Obama shared last year while he was in Ghana?
Absolutely, because the whole focus of this forum and event next week will be one of discussion, dialogue, finding ways that we can work together. And we believe, this administration, President Obama and Secretary Clinton, believe very strongly that the best way for us all to go forward, whether it's dealing with the challenges we face or looking at new opportunities, is to work in partnership. So the way this will be configured next week is really a dialogue and a discussion where we can meet together.
Now, there's obviously going to be a need for political will back in the countries where these civil society groups come from. Has there been any engagement at all with the African leaders? Are there any plans to engage with the African leaders to ensure that the civil society groups and the governments work hand in hand?
Absolutely. I think that there were a number of different initiatives, and that we are reaching out to government leaders there, that we, in our discussions with them and their discussions and conversations, we talk about the importance of reaching out to all sectors of society to move their countries and their economies forward, and we will continue those dialogues and discussions.
Now, some would look at this and say, just by focusing or giving such priority to civil society leaders as opposed to heads of governments, maybe parliamentarians, that the Obama administration could appear or risk appearing as though it's either sidelining or undermining governments and their role in this.
I don't believe so. I think that it's important whenever we have these kinds of initiatives to look at all sectors of society, to look at governments, to look at parliamentarians, to sort of, and we have a number of different programs and initiatives where we're doing it. We've just chosen this one because civil society itself and the critical role that these various individuals and organizations play in the evolution of their countries as they move forward, as they seize all these opportunities. As I'm sure you know, this is a great moment, I believe, for the countries of Africa when you look at all the economic indicators. And clearly, I think it's appropriate for us as a government to have those conversations and discussions and to involve other American organizations, their peers and counterparts in the United States, in conversations with them. We view our role as really a catalyst and a convener, where we're bringing like-minded groups and individuals together to establish and strengthen these partnerships.
Now, no countries from North Africa are participating. The forum that ends Thursday is geared toward young leaders from sub-Saharan Africa. Now, for more information on today's stories, please visit us online at voaafrica.com. You'll also find there all of the latest news from around the world, 24 hours a day.